she announced, volunteering late. Her car was at her ex's. I drove past his street, saw her plates by his steps, my stomach sank. A bank alert hit for takeout around the corner. I saved it, then the pantry director said she was not on the roster. I opened a folder. I started gathering proof. I-34, male, runs service calls for a telecom company in Cleveland, Ohio. I live in a small duplex near the ballpark. Her name is Harper. We met at a street fair. We kept it simple. Shared groceries, cheap dates, slow plans. My best friend is Liam. My sister is Dana. That is my circle. Harper said she started volunteering at a food pantry on Thursdays. I liked that about her. She sent a text that night. Volunteering late, do not wait up. I sent a thumbs up and put rice on the stove. A job finished early, so I drove to Dana's to return a ladder. On the way I passed Noah's block. Noah's Harper's ex. We live in the same city, so I know his street. A blue Civic with a cracked taillight sat by his steps. Harper's plate ends in 418. The plate read 418. My foot lifted off the gas. I pulled onto a side street and sat in the dark. I took one photo with the street sign, the car, and the plate. I did not send it. I did not call. My bank app buzzed. A charge hit the shared card from a taco place 2 doors down from Noah's place. I took a screenshot. I opened a folder on my phone and named it Thursday. I called the pantry before they closed. A woman answered. She said she was the director. I asked if Harper was still working her shift. She asked for a last name. I gave it. She said Harper was not on the roster that night. She said their next open volunteer slot for her was next week. She sounded busy and kind. I thanked her and hung up. I parked in my driveway and stared at the dark window. I set my phone face down. I ate rice with butter and salt and listened to the house breathe. Harper texted at 11. Long night, we had a line out the door. I stared at the words. I wrote back. Proud of you. Then I turned off my phone and went to bed. Update 1. I woke early and wrote a timeline. Text from Harper at 16:14, photo at 8:02, bank alert at 8:11, pantry call at 8:25. I taped the photo and the screenshot next to the times. I drove to the pantry on my lunch break. I asked to speak to the director. Her name is Mrs. Klein. She met me by the door with a clipboard. I told her I did not want to make trouble. I wanted to verify a schedule. She checked her sheet. She said Harper had signed up for next week. She said last night had a different team. She added, "We love volunteers, we also love clean communication." She did not need to say more. I asked if they had lobby footage. She said they do, but they only release to police. I said I understood. I thanked her for the time. Back at work my phone pinged. Liam sent a screenshot from a group text he was added to by mistake. It was a thread with Harper and 2 friends from her gym. One friend dropped a photo of a margarita glass on a wooden table. Harper wrote, "Sometimes service looks like self-care." A winky face. The next line read, "He will never know." Then the friend wrote, "Noah says you owe him a rematch at darts." Liam looked sick when he sent it. He wrote, I did not reply. I saved the group text images. I added them to Thursday. I printed them at a copy shop. I do not trust phones to hold the only truth. Harper came home that night with a tote and a soft face. She smelled like lime and smoke. She hugged me, long and warm. She said the pantry was intense. She said people cried. She cried. Everyone cried. She touched my cheek and asked how my day went. I told her fine. I did not confront in the doorway. I asked if she wanted pasta. She said she ate with the team. She said they ordered tacos. She said a donor covered the bill. I put the pot away and nodded. Later she took a shower and hummed. I pulled up the bank app and watched small holds drop off. The taco place charge stayed. I slept badly. I heard cars outside and thought every tire was hers pulling away. Update 2. Saturday morning I asked her to sit at the table. I put my phone between us and pressed play on nothing. I wanted quiet. I asked 3 questions. First, were you at the pantry Thursday? She said yes. I said I called, and you were not on the roster. She said someone swapped shifts. I asked for a name. She said she could not remember. Second, did you drive to Noah's? She said no. I showed the photo of her Civic by his steps. The street sign was in the frame. The plate was clear. She blinked and said she stopped to drop off a box of his books. She said his porch was closer than his mail slot. She said she did not go in. Third, did you buy tacos near his place? She said no. I slid the bank screenshot across the table. She stared at it. She said the pantry ordered from that place because it was near their route. She said I was being paranoid. She said love needs faith. I told her I wanted to believe her. I said trust needs a floor. I said we would build it with proof. I asked to see her messages with Noah and her gym friends for Thursday night. I said I would not read anything else. She said no. She said privacy matters. She stood and went to the sink. My phone buzzed. Dana sent a photo. It was a parking notice that the HOA on Noah's block leaves on cars that sit too long in visitor spots. The notice was stuck to a blue Civic, 418. The timestamp was the same night. Dana's friend lives across from Noah. She saw the tag in the morning and sent it. The notice listed the house number. I felt heat in my ears. I told Harper I was going to my sister's for the night. I asked her not to use the shared card for anything except rent and groceries. I asked her not to move my papers. She said I was punishing her. She said I was acting like a hall monitor. I packed a bag. I left the key on the counter to avoid a scene. Dana and I sat on her porch and watched the evening turn soft. She said, "Do not let her paint you crazy." She handed me tea and a pen. I wrote new lines in the timeline. Monday I took lunch in my truck near Noah's block. I saw a security camera on the corner deli. I bought a water and asked the owner if the camera worked. He said yes. I asked if I could pay for a pull of Thursday between 7 and 9. He said no for faces, yes for a plate if it parked in front. I showed him the photo. He checked and printed a small still of the street with the blue Civic parked at 8:05 with the plate visible. He stapled the receipt to it. I paid, thanked him and left. I emailed a local attorney for a consult. Ms. Reyes met me by video that night. I told her I did not want to sue anyone. I wanted a letter that asked for shared card limits, clean vendor contact, and the return of my papers if I moved out. She said she would send a draft in the morning. She told me to keep my records neat. Harper texted me, "Are you done sulking?" I wrote, "Meet me at noon, phones on the table, messages open. If the thread is clean, we plan counseling. If not, we end it." She sent, "You are controlling." Then nothing. Update 3. The pantry director called me back. Mrs. Klein said a volunteer, named Alyssa, had called to ask why her Thursday shift got marked missed. She said Alyssa showed her texts confirming she was scheduled the same night Harper told me she worked. Mrs. Klein said she was not trying to stir trouble. She said she values honesty. She wished me luck. Liam sent me 2 more screenshots. The gym group text showed Harper writing, "He thinks I am sorting cans. I am sorting my heart." Then a selfie in a bathroom with a plant and a gold faucet. I reverse searched the location in my head. Noah's bathroom has a gold faucet in an old photo. The date stamp matched. I added it to Thursday. I called the building office for my duplex. The property manager, Mr. Klein, no relation to the pantry director, said a man tried to pick up a spare key to my unit. He said the man used Harper's last name and said he was family. He asked for a key because she locked herself out. Mr. Klein denied it and logged the try. He gave me the time and a note. I picked up a printout. I put it in the folder. Miss Reyes sent the letter. It asked Harper to stop using the shared card for personal charges. It asked her to return my documents if I left. It asked her to stop contacting any vendors we had discussed for future plans without me present. It was calm, no heat. We sent it by email and certified mail. I met Harper at a diner at noon. She looked tired. She wore his hoodie. I knew it because it had a small stitched logo I had seen once when he helped us move a dresser. Long ago, when I was cool with it. I did not point it out. I kept to the plan. I said, "Phone on the table. Open the thread with Noah. Open the thread with Bree and Kelsey from the gym for Thursday." She kept her hand on her phone. She said, "You will twist things." I said, "I will read with you sitting here." She said, "No." She stood to leave. I put a single page on the table. It was the deli still with the plate and time. She stared at the paper like it burned. Then she whispered, "I only went to say goodbye." She sat down again. She started to cry. She grabbed my hand and said, "I love you." Tears do not fix lies. I kept my voice level. I said I would end this without yelling. I told her the lease gives 30 days to adjust. I told her to pick a time to collect her things. I told her I would not fight over furniture. I told her I wanted my dad's tool set, my documents, and the cast iron pan my mom left me. She sobbed. She asked for the ring back even though we had not set a date. I said the ring is on hold until we settle money and property. She stormed out. The waitress placed a napkin by my water and patted the table. She had seen worse. That night Harper posted a story with a black background. Some people hate community work because it keeps them from control. People messaged me. I did not reply. Ms. Rise sent Harper a short email. Please stop posting about my client. The story came down in an hour. I canceled a small venue hold we had placed for a party in the fall. The owner refunded most of the fee. He said, "You seem like a steady guy." It made my throat tight. Harper came by with 2 friends to collect her clothes. Mr. Klein supervised. I labeled 3 bins. Closet, bath, books. She took them without a word. On the way out she said, "No was a mistake." She asked if I would forgive her. I said I would not carry hate. I did not say yes to a future. A week later a charge hit the shared card. 2 movie tickets near Noah's place. The card should have been paused. I had frozen my copy, but she had her physical card. I called the bank and closed the account. I filed a small claims case for the unauthorized charges from the taco night and the tickets. I did not want revenge. I wanted a clean ledger. Court was quick. The judge asked if I had told her to stop using the card. I showed Ms. Reyes's letter and the email read receipt. I showed the charges. Harper said we were a couple and it was shared. He asked if I had given permission for those items. She said no. He ordered her to reimburse the charges and pay the filing fee. Small money. Clear line. Noah texted me from a number I did not know. "You were never enough." I blocked it. I did not save it. My folder was full of things that mattered. I did not need his words. Final update. The Pantry sent a volunteer newsletter last week. It had a photo of people stacking boxes. I looked at the faces because I care about work like that. Harper was not in it. That is fine. People choose their lives. I cleaned the duplex top to bottom. I moved the couch. I hung a map. I oiled the cast iron and cooked eggs that did not stick. I brought Dana a ladder again, and we laughed about that ladder doing more miles than my truck. Liam and I started playing cheap pickup soccer on Sundays. We are slow. We still show up. It feels good to sweat for no reason. Ms. Reyes closed the file with a short email. "You handled each step with care." I paid her bill and saved the receipt. Then I moved the folder off my desk and into a drawer. It did not need to sit on top of my life. Harper sent a message 2 months later. "I am sorry. I thought I was missing something." I typed a paragraph, then deleted it. I wrote back 3 words. "I wish you peace." She did not reply. I made rules I will keep. If you say you are volunteering, I will cheer you on, and I will bring you water sometimes. And I will learn the director's name with you. If your car is at your ex's while your text says pantry, we stop and talk in daylight with phones open. Shared cards are for shared bills, not secret tacos. If you call me controlling for asking for names and timestamps, I listen to the alarm. I do not ignore it to look easy. I do not hate Harper. I miss the early mornings when we made coffee and watched people head to work. I do not miss the fog. I like clean air more than I like being right. I kept 1 photo on my fridge. It is Liam and Dana on my porch with paper cups, laughing at my bad grill skills. It reminds me who showed up when the road bent. If you are hearing this with a sick feeling in your chest, hear me. Write the time. Take the photo with the street sign in frame. Call the place someone says they will be. Save what you learn. Speak once, calm and clear. Let the facts do the heavy lifting. You do not have to scream. I walk by Noah's street sometimes on my route. The blue Civic is gone. His steps are the same. The city keeps moving. That helps. I am not the main show on any corner. I am a person who sets a boundary and keeps it. I run in the morning. I fix people's internet in the afternoon. I call Dana on Sundays. I send Liam the first pick for our fantasy league, and then forget to set my lineup. My life is not dramatic, it is steady. That is the gift. The folder sits in a drawer now. The top page is the timeline. The last page is the small claims receipt. Between them is proof that I listened to myself. That is what I count as growth. Not revenge. Not a speech. Quiet steps in a straight line. I lock my door at night. I sleep. I wake. I go to work. I come home to a couch that faces the window, and a map that makes me want to drive to the lake and sit for an hour with no sound. I am fine. I am better than fine. I am honest with myself. If someday a partner says, volunteering late, I will kiss her forehead and say, text me when you get there. And I will trust her. If I drive past and see her car on a different street, I will trust myself. Both things can be true. That is how I plan to live.